kind of odd that we're all US based and we're here an hour early for the Europeans, and the Europeans aren't here, but that's okay.
Oops.
Whoops. Vander did call in sick, so that's just bad luck. And of course, Evgi had some other stuff. I'm not sure about Adai. Maybe he's confused with the time, but we have 3, and that's enough to adventure. All right. So for the to help out Kiara getting a bit more orientated, Dave, you're good at this. Why don't you surmise what's been happening thus far from the point of view of an outsider to the group? What's been happening?
Let's see here. Odin Beer, King's Games. King was killed by his slain queen that came back as a demon. Called him a kinslayer. His new daughter, Princess Athena, becomes queen. Crown grows tendrils, latches into her head. Curse goes across the whole kingdom. Nasty storm. Stuff doesn't grow anymore. Creatures are getting mutated. We must get 6 Torques to bring back the Arcane Tower, because the Arcane Tower has teleported away to a different plane, because the Arcane Tower said, I'm not dealing with this shit, goodbye. Have to get the Torques, because to get the tower back, to get the Master of the Tower back to this plane, because we have the crown, and the last thing that the sworn protector of the king, Lord Simonder, said was that if we get the crown, take the crown to the Archmage of the Arcane Tower, and maybe the Archmage can reverse the curse that is going on. Come to find out a little history about the king. The king's original wife was kidnapped by King Dasmung, king of the Fey realm, and went to get his queen back. Upon doing this, they entered into an agreement. Some secrecy was made. King Dasmung, king of the Fey realm, blessed the crown. So we're unsure why the crown has turned evil now. When the king wore the crown, everything was good. When Athena wore the crown, shit went down. In the Fey realm, it comes to light that the king murdered his son, Prince Casimir, and people were sworn to secrecy about that. And we only came out to find that because it was in Lord Simonder's journal. Once Lord Simonder died, he had a ring on it, which led us to his tomb. And the Guardian of the Tomb, once we defeated the Guardian of the Tomb, we were able to see his journal.
Sure,
So we are
Yep.
on the way to, we have 4 Torques, if I remember right.
Yes.
4. Yep. And you're hoping
Yes,
one
we have
is
4
going to be
Torques.
here.
And then we came this way toward the Lodge of Wonderlust before coming to the workshop, because Cygnus was supposed to really have information on where we could find Friend of the Dragon, since there's no information on where that Torque is.
Leads you to the dragon bones over here. All right. Any questions, Kiara? Or is that all perfectly clear?
That sounds like a lot happened.
It's been 45 sessions, so it's been a lot.
I think the bottom line from Kiara's perspective is she left the group. She just disappeared one night to do druidy stuff. And then this storm appeared, and all the vegetation is rotting. All the wildlife is either dead or walking around with hideous wounds on them, like rotting flesh type of stuff. So nature itself is nature itself is being assaulted. I mean, this rain that's falling, it's purple in color, and it's been torrential for weeks now. So the whole kingdom is basically turning into mud, and this rain, if you spend enough time on it, you end up dying, basically. And so this is not good for the wildlife. Like when these guys went through Arden Forest, the sounds of birds and squirrels and the general aliveness of the forest were strangely missing. And any game they saw was barely alive, not pleasant to eat. So food is a real problem. Sorry, Doug, you were saying?
And it's It's that just reminded me. It's so bad in Oathbreaker, where the main kingdom is that children in the streets are literally eating dead bodies to get any type of food they can. And that is a quote from Malcolm many sessions ago. He's like, "This is a dark campaign, so this is what happens." And literally, there is children eating a body. Like that's how bad it is in Oathbreaker.
Yeah, and that also points to the a problem with food. Like it's this thought in everybody's mind of the crops die. There's no wheat, there's no soy, nothing like that. Just gone. If the animals of the forest have gone, if game is gone. Even the ocean itself over here in the Calais Seas, rotting mutated fish. So the very, very.
I was thinking probably from.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking probably from Kiara's point of view, she probably left the group because maybe like she heard of like a rumor or something that like this storm was brewing, so she had to like hurry back to the forest to try to stem what she could, but it wasn't enough, and now she's having to come out here and try to fix it however it can.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and so the unspeakable thought that's in the back of everyone's mind, I imagine, is you have to eat and there's dead bodies. What are you gonna do? Alright, and we're doing a bit of a time warp because Bone/Abby has business at the gates to the darkness within, but he can't make it for this week and next week, so we'll be picking up with him. We'll be doing a bit of a time loop and rewinding it and dealing with whatever he needs to deal with now. And at the moment, I will bring you in a moment or two, Kiara, but in Cracion and Orion, outside the gate of Master Whitegate's workshop, the Archmage who was expelled from the tower. What would you like to do?
I'll I'll guide myself, and I'll just walk up and give it a little knock, knock, knock. Excuse me, Mr. Archmage, you in there?
Perhaps you didn't knock right.
But he knocked right. The DM's just contemplating a response. Not quite quick enough on my dice.
Ryan's not at a great shot. Like, perhaps you did something wrong.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. But please leave. This is none of your business.
I'm sorry. Name's Incration of the New Uncanny Vagabards and my associate here, Orion. We do have business with you. You see, we're trying to get that there arcade tower back, and we got 4 of the 6 torques, but we're kind of at a loss for where one of them is. If you can give us some information there.
My goodness, you're Incration?
Hey, listen, I know sarcasm when I see it now, all right?
Well, number one, I'm going to go right this. It's not the Uncanny Vagabards. It's the Uncanny Vagabonds. But I think Incration would know that. Look, you're right. I don't know who the hell you are. But I'm a very busy man. Please be on your way.
I mean, we've seen the inside of the tomb of the constructor if you want any information on that, but I guess you don't know what peoples have really seen throughout their travels if you just dismiss them so soon.
Wait, you've been to the constructor's tomb? Where is it?
Oh, now you want to talk since I got something you're interested in, but before it was be gone.
Make a persuasion check. See if you convince him, because you do in fact know where the tomb of the constructor is.
Oh my gosh, that is horrible for a plus 11. That would be a 17 with the guidance.
17. Look, I don't know who you are. I don't know who your companion is. But quite frankly, I've been researching for decades now to locate Arlen's tomb. And if you have discovered it, you would be a somebody. But plainly, as I implied before, you're a nobody. So unless you've got something meaningful to contribute, something that I can point to, something I can touch, then I'm sorry. And he's got much like the Lucky Leap with its metal doors in times of troubles. Same thing with this workshop, which is, by the way, is very well constructed. You notice some of the houses in Oathbreaker, particularly in the shanties, were just rotting under the rain. This workshop appears to be in immaculate condition.
Well, you see here, my associate has studied overnight in the tomb of the constructor. He knows all about the history of Oathbreaker, referencing Adai, where he has an advantage on the history checks, since we spent a day in the tomb. So I'm sure he can. Sure, he could sketch you out a tome or two that was from the tomb.
Let's roll 2d20s for a history check. And I start spouting off some very obscure history about the very early days of Eglarion. Alright, you've piqued my interest. What is it exactly that you want from me?
Well, you wouldn't happen to know where the lawgiver of Harveston went. We're searching for her torque.
You did pass this way looking for information, but unfortunately I had none to give her. So
You know about the...
Do I know
about the direction she went off to?
I didn't take much interest when she left. I assume she went east. There's nothing but mountains to the west.
What is it that she was searching for? Obviously, you're a man of great intellect, and she would come here for knowledge, which means he was in search of something.
He was searching for information regarding to the Dark Star, the darkness within, and the Dark Angels. Scholar, much like my neighbor Cygnus. Perhaps you should talk to Cygnus first.
We have already spoken to Cygnus. He has shared quite a bit.
Well, great. I wish you luck in your journey.
Oh, by the way, when we were in the tomb, Arwen's ghost was talking about the sunflower and how you have to boil it for a prolonged amount of time, and the potion when it turns like an amber color. Does any of that ring a bell?
It was a maniac for information and writing things down specifically. It sounds like his ghost hasn't yet finished its work. To record the knowledge in that man's head, given the help, given his great intellect, then not surprising, even after death, he's recording his thoughts. A certain phrase, like it wasn't a slip of the tongue by Malcolm, it was a slip of the tongue by Master Whitegate. He said, with the help of, and then he stopped, and then he said, with his great intellect.
I couldn't help but notice you paused there, Sir Mage. Do you perhaps think you better than the constructor?
Of course not. Look, I'm really actually confused about what you actually want from me. You wish to seek the location of Heron Blackbone? She was here, she left. You wish to know about the Dark Angels? Cygnus is the master of that.
Well, obviously, she came to you thinking that she had some more information other than Cygnus, perhaps. So perhaps, maybe, she knew of somewhere to go. That you know how to get, quote-unquote, in? Or at least maybe find.
Make a persuasion check. All right.
I'll guide you since we're outside, since he can't see it.
I don't need your guidance, lady. Look. I go with the
This is-
Redeemer. Go back.
You're guiding yourself, is that right?
Yeah. I don't need no lady luck.
Look at that. You're definitely going to beat Incration. Even with a +0.
Oh my.
Malcolm, what did you ask? You said what? What was the question?
Obviously, I think the question basically was, we were searching for her, but there's a reason why she ended up coming here. Maybe to find out something in particular, how to maybe find something, whatever it may be, that might at least give us a clue to where she might be heading. Even though she came to him to find out something. So maybe if we could figure out what she was trying to find,
Got it.
and we might know where she's going.
Oh, that is interesting. What is your end game here? What are you trying to accomplish? What do you wish with Harren?
I believe our intentions are, if we can at least find this Harren one that has one of these talks. We have collected already 4 of these talks. We need but hers and one other, somewhere, I believe, somewhat located north from here. But if we can at least gather all 6, we can summon the arcane tower back to its place, so we can begin to figure out how to end this wretched curse that now plagues this land.
Interesting. Okay. Come on, and the door just swings open, and you're welcomed inside. And you see Master Whitegate there, the expelled wizard from the tower. He says, yes, Byron did come here. She seeked 2 pieces of information from me. I could only provide one. She wished to travel to the ziggurat of the new moon, and despite my diligent studies, I could not direct her in that direction. Because you see, the ziggurat of the new moons holds Samkiel, one of the dark divas of the Dark Angel Reign. And the other complication is only appears under a new moon. And there's a passphrase that is required for entering into the ziggurat of the new moon. So you're going to be there at the right place, at the right time, and say the correct phrase.
Interesting. Incration. Didn't we stop off on an area that potentially had the location of this ziggurat?
Yes, we did. We got the location from a map in the Tomb of Arwen.
Oh, that is fascinating. Oh, I think we can be in alignment there. You tell me what the ziggurat is, I'll tell you what the passphrase is.
Well, how about I counter that offer and I just tell you where the location of Arwen's tomb is, and then you can find all the information and all of its wonders for yourself. I mean, think about it. One location for the ziggurat, or the endless knowledge that is in Arwen's tomb. We can only spare a day, but there is years and decades of knowledge in there.
True, and this tomb does have the location of the ziggurat.
Plus, all of his prototypes of the Vorpal Blade, the Bridge of Azura. I mean, all of them are in there.
Another persuasion.
Better to get from the source.
Man, that's how it's gonna go today.
You can throw guidance on there.
18.
Regarding my slip of the tongue earlier, everybody knows Arlon and King Razmil, the people who initially threw off the yoke of the Redeemer, that dreaded period of theocracy. They're regarded as heroes of the age, ushering in the age of kings and the monarchies that have followed. Master Arland is not as pure as you might think. Master Arland augmented his power by some type of arrangements with the Dark Angels, and that increased his powers tenfold. He made a very, very dark deal. Without such power, he never would have been able to overthrow the theocracy. So he made a deal. He's not as pure and as good as you might think. The tomb of the constructor would be nice, but I'd rather, shall we say, make my own deals. Augment my power, purely for academic purposes, of course. I have no plans to take over the kingdom or anything like that. I crave power for my own sake. And that deal with the Archangel will give me that. It will increase what I say. And you both believe him. He feels that making this deal with this Dark Angel will increase his power, and he'll be able to do the things that Arlen did just naturally.
But he does not want to take over the kingdom. That's true. There's no ulterior motive.
I'll say yes. There's no ulterior motive, but what is the only thing that corrupts absolutely is power. Like how many people saying, I'll take this item of power and I'll only use it for good, and all of a sudden they're the tyrant of the kingdom. So you believe him, but you know sometimes power corrupts people. But at the present time, he has no plans to take over the kingdom, and he wants to do this deal with Samkiel, as he described, the Dark Angel. So you
How far
see,
out are we from the new moon?
I'll say about a week. I'll make it easy, because standing around in the rain is not very interesting. If you make your way to the Dragon Bones, and then more or less wind your way down to the ziggurat of the new moon, the timing will be about right. So,
Okay.
no big side. So you go to Smokestone, go to the Dragon Bones, via Gorso, via the Azura Bridge, over to, I don't know, probably through the swamps. I don't know which way you're going to go. But if you make a more or less direct line to the ziggurat of the new moon, then also you arrive on time. So, I have a curiosity in Arlen's tomb, but I'm more interested in getting the power that will create my own legacy. So that's why the deal remains on the table. You give me the location, and I'll tell you the passphrase. And just to make it interesting, he throws down a spell. It's not a danger. Well, we'll see. Incration and an Orion, make me a wisdom saving throw. He throws down a zone of truth. Incration, you must tell the truth. You don't need to reveal things you don't want to, though. Like, you must speak truth, but you can take the fifth, is what I'm saying. Orion, you're under no such compulsion to tell the truth. Now, so there's no subterfuge, so there's no deception. Past this zone of truth. Look at you, you're both pathetic. I'm sure there's no way you can resist my power. So, I too am under the zone of truth. I do know the passphrase. Give me the location.
Well, like you said, you are such a amazing and powerful mage. How is it that I know, or we know, that you willingly are being affected by your spell?
Would I know how Zone of Truth works, being a cleric?
Yeah, it's a wisdom save. And you know,
But would that also mean that we know the one who casted it, and if he's in it, does he's still under the same potential effect, right?
in effect, he'd need to make his own wisdom saving throw.
Right.
He knows whether each creature so he knows that Incration is going to force to tell the truth. That is a interesting point, Incration. And Orion, Orion, I'm going to ask you very politely to submit to my zone of truth. Do you willingly do so?
Right. Save. I would be wants to agree if you agree that you have to be under the same influence.
Oh, I have already agreed to it.
Then I have no qualm in the matter.
And I'll say you can, we'll say Incration had a glow around him, implying that he was under the effect. Orion didn't, but it seems that Master Whitegate is under it. So you're all glowing a slight blue, implying that you're all under the zone of truth. Right, now that we can all be honest with each other, I do indeed have the parchment that has a phrase on it. Oh, where is the ziggurat of the new moon?
Well, but before I answer that, this parchment that has a phrase on it, is it able to be read in common, or do we need some type of understanding of the language of the Dark Angel?
It's written in a very dark celestial language. It took me quite a while just to decode it.
So will you translate it for us as well, with the information of where the new moon is?
Of course, I will give you the phrase that you need.
I'll look at it, Ryan.
I can speak Celestial. Now, whether it's from the Dark Angels or not with their corrupt speech, perhaps I can at least make it out better than most.
I agreed to give you the phrase, not the parchment. And? Well, you're speaking truthfully here? Where is the ziggurat?
Will you allow, not that we are speaking truthfully, yes, but besides just giving us the passphrase, would you allow my associate Orion to view the parchment under your supervision as well?
I could agree to that. No funny business, right? You're not going to steal the parchment.
Nope. No funny business. I might be of the uncanny vagabonds, but trust me, we're turning over a new leaf for it to say.
I don't care
under new leadership.
I don't care at all about the uncanny vagabonds. All I care about this moment is the truth. You agree, Orion? You'll read the parchment and that will be all?
Very well. Also, perhaps if we have a common goal, would you be willing to accompany us to this locale?
I have No, no, I prefer to travel alone. I have things to do first, preparations to make. I will leave in the coming days.
I will give him the location.
That is fascinating. All right.
And to sweeten the deal, just to see if it helps our favor, I will also give him the location of Arwen's tomb.
Oh, very well. Here is the parchment. Now it's written in Dark Celestial, Orion. Like
Yep.
imagine Gandalf reading Mordor's speech in the extended version of the Fellowship of the Ring. Have you seen that scene, Josh?
Yes, but it's been a while.
Everything goes dark, the mere uttering of these words, the very, very dark language. But you managed to read it. You do speak Celestial?
Yep.
Uh, uh, it contains many unholy scripts about the Planetar General, someone called Morkiel, and there's been a phrase highlighted on it, which is this: darkness shall feed their fears. You think that is the phrase you need to open the ziggurat of the new moon?
Somewhat fascinating yet troubling.
Tis. And if you have the parchment, he takes the parchment back, as agreed upon. I believe our business is concluded here. You got what you want, I got what we want.
What we want? Who is we?
Ah, that's Malcolm speaking. I got what you want.
Okay,
You
okay.
got what you want.
Hmm. Perhaps this lady maybe have found out and may be heading to this ziggurat. Perhaps we will find her there.
Well, maybe. But as I said, she was after two pieces of information: the location and the phrase. I gave her the phrase. She still has a problem of locating it. She might be there, she might not.
A word of warning. Perhaps it seems this constructor who made these dark deals with these dark angels. I come from a time in which we took down those dark angels for the corruption that they have plagued our land. Be careful. There are always pitfalls, unforeseen consequences of one's actions. They do not care who they destroy.
Thank you so much for your advice. I'll take it on heart, absolutely. And while he's under the zone of truth, he's obviously dripping with sarcasm. Be gone! I have preparations to do.
It probably would be
I
actually
guess-
also fascinating for him because when I spoke that I came from the time when this happened, I would not be pinging as lying.
Oh, that's true. Still, he's not interested, and he's strongly implying that he wants you guys to go. Which you do?
Just, yeah,
Yep,
I
yep.
guess be gone, yep.
Okay. Out into the cursed land once more as the rain pelts down on you. You're heading off to Smokestone Mines, I assume?
Yep.
Yes, because my notes say a revolution in the Smokestone mines from the foreman Elibard Serpent Pike as a leadership is shift.
Cracion, roll a d15 as you head out.
D15?
Oh, sorry, d20.
Oh, okay.
A
I was
d20.
like,
Looking
wait.
for a 15 or higher. Nothing from the random encounters table. But, as I said, a lot of the creatures are more or less having the flesh rotting off their bones. And you see a couple of mountain goats, like quite large goats, that have ventured down from the mountains, and they don't look long for this world. They're stumbling. They're not looking well at all. Massive scars and infected wounds all over them. But you also see a gnome tending to these soon-to-be-dead mountain goats. So what do they see, Kiara? What do you think this vision looks like as Incration at least reunites with Kiara?
So, yeah, Kiara's probably kneeling over these mountain goats, um, extremely kind of like anxious and stressed out, frantically going about different wounds and working on different herbs and plants that she managed to salvage, trying to ease whatever pain and discomfort she can, um, to kind of make sure at least the last moments of this creature uh, is as painless as possible.
You feel that it's beyond saving, and a merciful, painful death is perhaps the best way to go. So Incration, that's what you see.
Yeah.
Ryan, you see this gnome. What do you do? Kiara, Incration, Josh, Ryan?
Hey, you're back. Where you
Really,
been all this time, Kiara?
ah, uh, oh, hi, Incration. Uh, I can't talk right now. I'm this little one. Uh, he doesn't have much time left. I'm trying to help him pass.
Well, Orion, let's see if your Redeemer can ease this passing to be as painless as possible, or if Lady Luck will shine superior.
Ah, let me see. I do know somewhat of the land, though more versus the sky at this point in time. Redeemer, help me end the suffering of this little one.
What we'll do, with your guys' help from your Lady Luck or the Redeemer, Kiara, you're going to get some help in easing this creature's passing. If you make me a nature check at advantage, please. Very good.
Thank you for that advantage.
Well, yeah, wouldn't have been a nice death. So why don't you describe for us how this mountain goat passes away and how Kiara aids with that passing?
Uh, how does uh either Lady Luck or the deity, how does their help look?
So Lady Luck is literally just like you're lucky when you gamble and stuff like that. So it's just Incration's stab at Orion since he serves the Redeemer.
Yeah.
So it's just
Now,
like they have a stride of luck to make it, in ease and passing. A
I would
moment
I
of
guess,
luck.
say that for Redeemer purposes, as Orion is also a druid as well, but he's a stars druid. You would see the light emulate from his shield that lights up the stars, and they kind of like ship and form over there, but then they kind of travel to where they're little starry wisp, and they kind of surround you as they kind of like envelop you, whatever you're doing to ease in the goat's life in a non-surfable manner is kind of almost like guiding your hands into the proper placement to where it's causing the least amount of suffering.
uh, yeah, feeling this light, she probably is holding her staff over the creature, um, conjuring up some uh, plant life and vegetation that's not corrupted, at least the ones touched by our magic, um, and kind of wraps around the creature. I know that. mm, Not really good at describing killing as quick or merciful, but
This. How about this?
she
The
tries to
current.
she tries to she does it using like plant life is her specialty.
Sure. So the goat's breathing was ragged when you found it. By your gentle hand, the goat uh, starts breathing normally, just big healing breaths, as it were, and then it gently falls asleep, and the breathing stops. And Kiara, at the very least, you're given this creature peace in its final moments. It went to sleep, breathing well, and then the breathing gradually fades away until it stops. But it's a peaceful death in its sleep.
I think kind of going off of that as well. Probably uh, takes out like a little sachet of like spores to kind of like, gently blow into its face. That causes it to uh, peacefully drift off to sleep, and then uh, its kind of breathing just becomes shallower until it stops.
Nice.
Uh, Another one I wasn't able to save due to corruption. Kneeling back onto her knees and looking up at you two. So, how have you been? I don't suppose it's been well.
It's had its ups and downs. Um, Probably a little better than this one here, who was lost in the Shadowfell for seems like 200 years.
And who might you be? I sense a bit of the
Apologies,
Earth
my
Mother.
name is Orion, and you two must know each other. And you are.
My name, my name's Kiara. Kiara Barkhide. I traveled with Ingracion and his friends when they were first starting out. I had to leave to try to head off this corrupting plague rain.
A noble effort, for to be sure, but one even as tuned as nature as you are. This corruption, this widespread corruption, is proving to be way too much.
It absolutely is. We've lost so many acres of forestry already. So what brings you out here?
Well, on a bit of a walkabout, trying to find these here torques to bring back a tower, to talk to an archmage, to possibly disenchant this here crown we have, to maybe end this storm. And then back to Odinbeer to dethrone that bitch of a queen and all the pain she's causing. Your parents' shop seemed like it'd been ransacked a bit, but they seem okay. No trace of them being injured.
Uh, we didn't own a shop. You talking about I think of the
Queen Byra?
NPC.
Oh, I was
Yeah,
thinking Byra. I was thinking Byra's parents were your
You,
parents.
you have misspecied her. She's a gnome. They were halflings.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. Where's your lady luck on that one? You don't even know what she is.
misspeciing. The the crown. You mean the one that I warned the king about?
Yeah, that'd be the one. We got it in this here nullification box here, along with the two heads of the queen. Apparently, there's multiple of them.
Which one was the one that bit Vander's ear?
Couldn't tell you. I want to say all of them. They all look alike except one had a crown.
You did cool multiple queens, and they all looked like twins, as it were.
Yeah, and there was one I remember at the beginning that bit Vander's ear off.
Yep, the queen definitely did bite his ear. I love Queen Athena. She's such fun to play.
Oh wait, that wasn't Vander. That was Sergio's character.
Oh, you're right. It was Adai. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Adai who ear got
It's
bit
Adai,
off. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's been a while. I think it was Adai, actually. Sorry.
Fun fact I left out, sorry, that we've come to find out Vander is the bastard son of King Waldron, so technically Vander is next in line for the throne.
Ooh, we should put the crown on him.
It's safe to say Vander is reveling in this fact.
Hmm. Perhaps, though, if you are feeling like this is proving to be a little bit futile, perhaps maybe you should join us into helping end this widespread problem. Then we can focus on the remedy of regrowing things back the way they should be and restoring nature back to order.
I definitely appreciate the help. It's really difficult trying to go about this by myself. A little bit awkward. I'm not used to dealing with people. I usually stick to the King's Forest.
We've been through there. Not a nice area. Came across the cabin. There was a ghost that tried to persuade me to have everybody stay there for the night. Not looking too good over in them there woods.
As come to think of it, you are quite easily influenced, aren't you?
It depends on the strike of luck that comes about it.
But if you're offering and willing to have me back, I'd appreciate the help. And I think I can help you a bit better than I could before. I've gotten much more powerful. And I've even inherited the staff now from my grove. And she'll hold up her staff that looks like it's a very healthy, sturdy tree at the head of it.
Yeah, see there, Orion? Now that's a staff.
Ah,
Uh,
it is quite lovely, of course. But I prefer my own. And just for flavor wise over there, he taps his staff down and does this. So you can definitely tell that he is still on the druid variety. That'll do the bludgeoning damage.
This is what Kiara's staff looks like. You go to
yeah, I was trying to
20 check.
figure out a way that I could share the picture of it.
I like the picture too, by the way. It's very cool. That's the 2024 version, just for... So we have two pictures. That's the 2014 version of the art.
Oh, okay.
Or less the same.
I definitely like the 2024 version. It looks much more detailed.
Yeah, me too.
One of the big things about it is it lets me talk to the plants a lot better. And above the table, I now have 3 sources of speak with plants.
By the way, these were the clues they got for locating the Torques that will resummon the Arcane Tower. They are missing the Adamantine one, the first one, which is that whole conversation which you weren't part of. And they're also missing...
Play.
Yeah, play.
Play, yes. And you'll notice that on the... which one? The iron one talks about the lawgiver of Smokestone. Rather strangely, you have the iron torque. And rather strangely, remember how torques can detect each other's location? There is no torque in all the hexes around you, which would include the Smokestone mines. Feel free to go there, of course, if you want, but you feel that probably one here and probably one here. For whatever reason, the iron torque is on one of yours wrists and is not in the Smokestone mines. So that's a bit strange.
Wait, so I have the iron talk?
They've got the no, you don't. They got the iron talk from actually the Uncanny Vagabonds. Is not the Uncanny Vagabonds. The
Here's a virtue.
Here's a
Heroes of
virtue.
They had the iron talk, so you almost lucked upon that. But yeah, apparently there's not one of the Smokestone mines. So, given that information, what would you like to do?
I think onward to the mines, right? We gotta stop Eobard Serpent Pike.
Okay. Well, firstly,
Because this is my notes.
leadership is shit. very descriptive. Okay, can everybody make me a Constitution saving throw, please? Ration, you're fine. Orion, you are not.
We have advantage Orion the cloaks.
Do we have advantage on this one? Oh, this is the last one, the Thursday one we had advantage.
You know what? You're right. We don't. I'm sorry. So mine's a fail. Mine is 13 plus 2. Oh,
Was your first roll? Was it
Nope.
13 plus 2? 15. No,
Yeah.
you're good.
okay. I'm good. Yeah.
So, this rain is constantly falling, Karen. You've seen it destroy forest. It also destroys people. I'm imagining Kiara's learned how to survive, particularly in forested areas. But Orion may be more of a city boy, doesn't quite do the things, and the rain soaks into your skin, Orion. Take a point of exhaustion.
Yeah. Blast this.
Where's your
red
redeemer
rain.
now?
Yeah, I imagine.
I'm trying to bring
Wheeler.
him back. The reason why he left in the first place is y'all abandoned the Redeemer, and now you've brought this rain upon the land. You misplayed your hand, Miss Lady Luck.
I'm strutting just fine. I don't know what to tell you.
Yes. Don't forget it was I who saved your bacon back in that lodge. Otherwise,
Tomato.
Okay. Sorry, Kara, I think you were trying to say something. Looks like you're trying to type something now. Ah, there we go. That does make sense.
I also remember I used to have that wisdom save thing to like be indoors.
Ah, yes. Yes, I remember that now. The claustrophobia type of thing. Okay, so you approach the Smokestone mines. It's a well-known location. Anybody who knows anything about Aglarion would know that this is a mine. And you approach the mine. And this is what you see. Notice, Orion, you're looking a bit different. Is this how you look at the moment?
Nope, I would be looking something rather different.
If you right-click on your token, click
Yep.
multi-sided.
I got it.
And by the magic of Roll20, there we go.
Wee.
Alright, so I'll assume that Kiara only saw this form of Orion.
Yes, she only sees the human form.
Yeah, you see that the mine...
Kiara only has the one form.
You approach it, and some miners who are in one of the guard towers, he says, look, mine's closed down. Nothing to see here. Be on your way. Sorry to be so rude, but no mining happening here. Nothing for you here.
Well, that's fine about the mining, but little birdie told me that Illibert Serpent Pike, his leadership's quite shit, and we're here to check up on your conditions. I think you should be afraid of the faction called OSHA.
OSHA. Canny Vagabonds and OSHA. I'm not sure who that OSHA is, but where do you come from?
Oh, all over. Odenbeer, Harveston, Nandagraph, Gorso. You've been all over.
What's the situation like in Odenbeer?
Shit. Children eating dead bodies in the streets. Hell nights going off the place. The queen made it illegal to wear a ponytail. Off with your head.
Perhaps you better come inside. And they open the gates, and they lead you to these mining houses over here. Well, the houses that hold the miners. But Kiara, do you want to go inside? You'll get shelter from the rain if you do, but it has indoor yucky vibe, so how would Kiara react to that?
Kind of like biting your lip and kind of wringing her hand a little bit, looking up at the sky, and she'll like just step inside the door frame.
Sure.
It's like the roof of the building's kind of keeping the rain off, but she can still keep an eye out on outside.
Sure. So, hugging the wall, kind of right by the door, keeping an eye on the outside, but still being able to be a part of this conversation. Well, you're right, friend. Master Serpent Pike is gone a bit off the rails. Look, not to be too fine a point on it, but we want out of here. Ilberd Serpent Pike, who got tied up in one of the guard towers, he insists that we keep on mining. He's convinced that there's a vein of mithril in there. If he's right, great. If he's wrong, great. We just don't want to be here. And we're frustrated that that things are so bad elsewhere. Sorry, my crook red flask mail. He's a dwarf. At your service.
Well, I do gotta say, it's safe back home in Nangrath. We put an end to those nasty things stealing the citizens throughout the night, and also were able to kill the vampires in the mine.
I don't know about no vampires, but there are ancestral problems, shall we say, with Nangrath. We've had our disagreements going back generations. I'm not sure they'd welcome us with open arms. I mean, there's 23 of us here. That's a lot of mouths to feed, if nothing else.
Perhaps maybe also in Harveston as well.
What's
We have
happening
a
in
little
Harveston?
bit of a... We were able to convince ones that were at one point in time loyal to the Queen to turn allegiances because of the curse that has now befell the land, as well as the ridiculous taxes apparently that she is demanding from everyone. You now have a safe haven in Harveston guarded by the once Queen's forces.
It is good to know. How are they with the refugees? If you
I'm trying to
remember,
remember. I'm trying to remember back.
there were refugees there. Here, I'll show you the art.
But I thought there was a lot of tents and stuff like that around.
Yeah, this is Harveston. Normally a fairly quiet town, farming town, but you see all the tents in the middle. Those are refugee tents. So you say what you like, but they are open to refugees.
Yeah.
So are they friendly to refugees?
Yes. Only problem is, I guess, probably with the lack of looks around or looks back outside. With the conditions as they are, food can probably become scarce. And as you would say, with more mouths to feed, it might be even more difficult. So since the last time we have been there, though they were originally open to refugees, I have no idea at the moment if they would be able to accommodate you as well.
That's the problem. If we were to go there, well, number one, the journey is going to be hard. And number two, if we do manage to survive the journey, we'll be bringing nothing. I guess we could bring manual labor if things needed to be done, but I imagine a lot of people have bought that anyway. I'm stating problems here. Let me put it this way. If you're in our shoes, what would you do? We have the owner of the mine who wants to mine this mithril. And quite frankly, we've mined this place for riches, and that's why we were here. But riches don't put food on the table anymore. So if I were you, where would you go? If you were I, rather.
Well, you could always go to the Mossy Tower. We got a little settlement set up there with my mom.
Yes. You could also potentially go to Gorso as well. We have ended the corruption there.
Oh, Kiara, unfortunately, no. It looks like they're rich fields that are full of life, but it's actually a field of nightmares that make you have crazy dreams and not get any rest.
The farmlands is either baked in mud or has these thick, spiky vines going through it. You might be able to help, though, maybe. Master Druid. Well, if
I might do something. Plants no longer harm me anymore.
oh well, Miss, I'm sorry you seem a tad uncomfortable. Whoops, no, you're not Harveston. Is there anything I can do to make you a bit more comfortable? Maybe you're the solution we're looking for.
I just don't like being inside. I'm more at home in the wilderness up in the trees.
My apologies, miss. Someone grab her an umbrella. And the dwarf, this guy Cook Rad Flask, he takes her outside, says, Miss, might I show you something?
Of course.
And he takes you over. Feel free to come along as well if you want, in Creation and Orion. He takes you over to these muddy fields. This is our problem right here. With this rain just pounding the crops, I feel the soil is poisoned. That's why we're so desperate to get out of here. If somehow life could be being brought back to our farm here, then we could maybe see out this storm. I don't know. Depends how long it goes for. But if you could bring life back to our plot here and somehow protect it from this choking rain, we'd be ever so appreciative. And you see the farm that's just baked in mud, very thick mud, and the purple rain has given it a slightly purple tinge as well.
Trying to look through my list of anything that might keep rain off. Yeah, I know a spell that'll help enrich the soil for the next year.
Next year?
Mind if I
That's remarkable.
Mind if I borrow this? Mind if I borrow this umbrella?
Oh, of course, of course. And he kind of gets back under the eaves of this house, and a lot of the other miners do come outside, keep shelter as best they can to watch. Maybe the life bringer? Okay, Kiara, what do? You have an audience.
Can I? I don't know if control water would help with the rainwater that's already saturated the soil.
I think you could remove the Well, why don't you try it?
Yeah, I'll throw it out there.
So you cast Control Water. I'm not sure this is strictly rules with rules as written, but the purplish tinge that this field had from the choking rain seems to be siphoned out and dumped into this river over here. The thick mud that even if the rain was everything else was perfect, if there was no choking rain, it would still be impossible to grow anything of substance in such a muddy place. You siphon off the water, and the mud goes down just to a very shallow depth, such that planting would be possible. So in other words, you remove the poison from this this plot of land. How long it will remain unpoisoned remains to be seen. But at the moment, it's a fertile piece of land.
I'm gonna walk out into the middle of the field and holding her staff out in her hands, closing her eyes, focusing on the power of nature. She'll start reciting different charms and prayers to the Earth Mother, praying for the healing enrichments of the earth to bring bounties to these fields once more. And for the next 8 hours, she's going to be casting plant growth over this field.
Amazing. So plant grows. No.
I'm doing the 8-hour version.
Enriched for 1 year. Okay.
And
So
double check my features.
So the miners watch with dumbfounded amazement, I guess, as over the course of 8 hours, crops begin to grow, food begins to grow, and they're all just watching you work here. Some of them are weeping. Some of them are. It's like, who is this? Who is this person? What was her name? Was Kiara? We need to get Vasuth on this. We need to write a song for her. Kiara the Lifebringer. Right, get on it. And as she's casting this spell, Cookrad says, "Wow, she's pretty amazing, isn't she?"
Well, yeah, she sure has grown in power since I knew her a month or two ago.
It seems as if situations have changed. I'm not sure what this rain is going to do to the crops, but we'll take this as a sign that perhaps we should stay here a bit longer. Orion.
Well,
Orion. Sorry. Orion, you fashion yourself as a holy man, is that right?
Yes, I serve the Redeemer.
Well, I have a moral quandary for you then, Father. We've been under the yoke of ill-buried Serpent's Pike for a long time. And when he finally asked us to mine for this mithril, even though we were exhausted and we didn't want to be here, he insisted. And so we locked the SOB up. He's in the tower starving. Like we all are, to be fair. What do you think should be done with him? He's a cruel, cruel master.
No one should be necessarily in full servitude, especially when it comes to the idea of slavery to the point. However, all life has some meaning and value. perhaps maybe a chance of redemption with maybe a hint of probation for the one that is, quote unquote, was on top. Perhaps maybe he needs to learn what it is like to work his way back from the bottom.
What would you suggest?
A suggestion would be as a joy of his own peers to believe what would be the best course of action. Maybe, perhaps, as something in regards to what this Miss Kiara is doing. Maybe we put him to work to build some sort of facility or shelter that may at least help this land keep some of this cursed rain off and allow the power that Kiara has to flow through the life of this land once more.
Some type of shelter for the fields? You can construct that? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, and he needs to be the one that does more of the manual labor. Obviously, this could be a team effort in which he works alongside of you and not over you.
We shelter it from the rain. That'll be good. And we're fortunate enough to have this fresh water flowing from the mountains. All right. I think with the miracle that is Kiara, the life bringer, I think we're just going to stay here.
That would probably be proved to be wise. And also know that you have gotten a blessing from up above. The Redeemer has at least allowed us to run into Miss Kiara and allow her power to grow and be demonstrated at this point in time. You are very lucky indeed. There are many places around Aglarion that aren't as lucky as you at this moment in time. So take the opportunity and make sure not to squander it.
Of course. But all same to you, we'll be giving thanks to the Earth Mother. I'm sure you can understand why.
No qualms at this particular time. The Earth Mother, I somewhat understand and has a bit of power in her own right. But just know that the Redeemer also seeks to aid those who are on this side of light.
A religion check, Orion.
Yeah.
It's your
15.
I hear what you say. Must admit, the Redeemer was a bit of a poisoned chalice, given the history. But if you're of the Redeemer, and you've brought Kiara here, and then we'll also give thanks to the Redeemer and the Earth Mother. We are truly blessed this day. Krayshawn,
Yeah.
what are you doing? You just admiring the work of Kiara, or something else you wish to do?
I'm gonna come to the guy that Orion's talking to once Orion's. I don't really care if he's in earshot, but right now next to him. And I'm gonna walk up to him and just say, you're a foreman, old Eobard Serpent Pike there. I could just make him disappear. A little trip to hell never hurt anyone. You could say that maybe his luck has run out.
Friend, that's a very odd request. Let me ask you this, a philosophical question, as it were. Who deserves to go to hell?
Well, back in the olden times, I heard someone called Heitler definitely deserved to go to hell.
Right. So the worst of the worst deserves to go to hell. You get no arguments from me there. About someone who's just nasty, greedy, selfish. Do they deserve to go to hell?
Well, let me answer that with another philosophical question, my good sir. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one.
Aye. So I feel I missed your point there, friend.
Is the Star Trek the Spock thing? The needs
Oh,
of
I
the
know that. I
many
know
outweigh
that.
the needs.
I'm
Okay, okay.
not sure how. Star Trek 2: The Wrath of Khan. The scene even. I don't see how that's relevant. The needs of the many. Which many are we talking about? Which one are we talking about?
Well, the one would be Serpent Pike, and many being you. So the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one.
Oh, well, that's true. What's this got to do with hell?
Figure of speech.
Right. While I have no love for Ilberd Serpent Pike, I feel that what Orion suggested, some hard labor, perhaps break his arrogant spirit. I think, quite frankly, friend, sending someone to hell is... Yeah, no, don't say that.
Fair enough. I just one question though. He somehow rose up to power before you all dethroned him. So is it safe to say he has a silver tongue and could possibly have a rebellion happen in this here camp?
No, this is the rebellion.
Fair enough. I'm happy with that answer.
All right. So, Kiara, the miracle that you've worked is done. You spend your 8 hours and there's plants everywhere. Okay, and liking the suggestion.
Oh, the whole health thing, Kiara, that's real. And Creation has a weapon that when he kills somebody with him, they literally get sent to hell.
Oh, you have a hell weapon.
Yeah.
Find it.
It's reflavored as a card because he throws cards. But I have the description here. I can just copy it in.
An infernal card.
Yep.
That's what it looks like. I must admit, I like the look of the staff a lot better. It's a nasty looking thing. All right.
Would you put the picture?
Oh, it's in
Roll 20.
roll 20.
I'll
Do you
put
see
it in
it?
yet. I just have Incratian's description.
Oh, I see it. Interesting.
Oh, that is. Yep. Actually, is that maybe? Oh no, sorry. I see why you don't see it now. It's just Incration who could see it. So try that.
Oh, that's right, because I didn't reveal it
Oh.
for a long time.
I can tell you see
Yeah.
it now.
Just think of it as that picture's on a playing card, on like a razor sharp playing card.
Definitely the
That's a pretty sick, nasty dagger.
definitely the stuff of the woodlands is much more pleasant. Yeah, and then when you stab someone, they literally go to hell. Yara, you finish working through it. The miners have constructed something about where Orion is just a bit that you can be sheltered from the storm, but still be not inside. And so they bring you over there. once you're finished. And he says, it's a very sturdy looking dwarf who looks as if can't possibly spring two words together. And he says, this is Vasuth Plate Basher. And this is truly a miracle. This is something we couldn't have hoped for, but you've been hope to these lands, Tiara. And Vasuth, this guy with massive fingers, like working the mines, his fingers are massive. But he picks up a lute and he plays you a song, Kiara. And the name of the song is Kiara the Lifebringer. And it's beautiful, it's melodic, and Vasuth finishes playing, puts down his instrument, and goes back in a corner.
It's very beautiful, thank you.
He nods, and Cookrad says, look, we don't have much to offer you, but take the song as a gift.
I'll cherish it. I don't know how much of a rush that my companions are, but if we're around in the morning, I have a bit more work I would like to do.
Please.
I can probably
please.
get you guys some fresh water.
Oh, well. That the miracles never stop. And so,
perhaps I can give you a hand with that.
Oh, do you have it prepared instead?
Is this what you refer to? And you're gonna go to a place that might have some corruption or anything like that, and
there are wells here. Not shown on the map, but there's wells. It just makes sense. And I'll say, together, Kiara and Orion. And Orion, you're getting some brownie points now for the Redeemer as you help Kiara work these miracles. I want to say for now, at least, their wells are clean. They've got a little thatched roof on it. You know, the thatched roof might not last forever, but fresh food, fresh water. And morning comes, spells are cast. Exhaustion points are no longer with you. Look, friends, we know that times are tough out there. We didn't expect this sort of help. But if you want to stay, you're more than welcome. Stay with us.
Guess it won't hurt to stay for a night.
You've stayed for the night. The long rest is done. This is the next morning. They want you to live here.
Oh.
Look for your own a thing. The things are bleak out there. Children are eating dead bodies in Oathbreaker. Harveston is crowded with refugees. Gorso might be good, but everywhere you've mentioned has a problem with food. We don't. Stay with us.
Though we appreciate the offer, at least I do, I cannot necessarily speak for my friends here. We have a mission to bring the light back to this land once more and end this wretched reign. Though you are in a good position, if we do not do something about this reign, it would only prolong the inevitable. We must remove this curse from this land, purify the land once more. And though I appreciate the offer, the cause is much greater, and I shall continue on in search of a way to end this wretched curse, so that everyone, including the members here, in Harveston and Nangrath and Gorsol, and all the locations we have visited thus far of all of Aglarion, can see the light once more.
Kracion, he who sends people to hell, do you share the opinion of Orion?
Not as much with the Redeemer, but we do have a mission to get to. I do ask just one thing. If I could send word to our my mother and the few allies we have at the Mossy Temple, would you allow her to stay here?
Persuasion check. DC won't be very high because you're being too nice. Of course. What's your mother's name? We'll keep an eye out for her.
Faye Dove. She is a elf, a wood elf like me, only, little older.
Of course, she is more than welcome here. And Kiara, the Lifebringer, do you agree with your companions? There's a task out there greater than helping us to survive here.
I do. There's still many more people in Aglarion out there that are suffering under the this cursed plague. Woods out there that are suffering, animals that are dying. Until this curse is lifted, I can only prolong the inevitable.
A proud man. I speak for all these miners. But he drops to his knees and says, I beg you, Kiara the Lifebringer, stay.
Like I said, I can't. My home is in the Kingswood. That's where my home is. That's where my family is. We still need to lift the curse so that things don't get worse.
All right, miss. I understand. Hi, Edai.
I thought that we changed the time so it would be the same for us, but maybe I'm mistaken. Sorry.
That's okay. No problem. Yeah, it's screw daylight savings, right? Just get rid of the damn thing.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that.
That's okay.
pisses me off.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry.
it's for farming and stuff like that. It's not as prevalent as it used to be.
It's just.
Hey, Kiara, welcome back.
Hello.
Oh,
It's nice to have her back. And what you missed, I guess, Edai, is they came to the Smokestone mines. If you remember, I'll take you across to the big map. And obviously they met up with Kiara trying to save a mountain goat, which she failed, but she did ease its suffering, led it to a peaceful death, and you head out to the Smokestone mines. Oh, you've met with Mr. Whitegate. He now knows where the ziggurat of the new moon is, because Incration told him under his Zone of Truth. And in return, they gave you a passphrase that you needed to. It's not enough to go there at the new moon. You also must say this passphrase.
yeah. Did we get the passphrase? Okay, that was really productive at this hour that you play. Okay.
Yep, and then that was the phrase. The darkness shall feed their fears. So in other words, you need to go to the ziggurat at the time of the new moon, say the passphrase, and then presumably the ziggurat would appear. But as a result of the deal, Whitegate also knows where it is, and he obviously knows the passphrase. And he says he wants power more than anything. And he told you that Arlen the Constructor struck a deal with one of the Dark Angels to become more powerful. He's not quite the saint that everybody thinks he is. He struck a deal to get power to help break the theocracy. And that was one of the reasons why all the wonders he created were possible, like the Azura Bridge, the Falcon Blade, the Palace, were all under his hand. But in Master Whitegate's opinion, he did it because he made this dark deal with the angel. And he wants his own dark deal with the angel. He made no qualms about that.
Okay, and he's on the run?
He said under a Zone of Truth that he's going to spend a few days preparing, then he's off to the ziggurat.
Okay, and are we cool with that?
Yeah, that's the agreement we made. We were gonna let him go on his way, and if he wants to make a deal with the devil, then that's on him.
Yeah, it looks like it comes actually on the new moon as well. So even if he goes earlier before us, we all get there at the same time, basically.
That's true. And I said, basically,
Okay.
if you head more or less in the direction of the ziggurat of the new moon, like go to the Dragon Bones, which you got business at, maybe via Gorso, across the bridge, and then down to the new
Okay,
moon.
we may still reach on time. Okay, good.
You reach on
Okay.
time. As long as there's no massive side quests or anything. All right, and in the Smokestone mines, they were depressed. They wanted to leave. But Kiara, the life bringer, brought life back to the land, even if it's just temporarily. She spent 8 hours, cast plant growth, control water to clear up these fields at least. So this is a working farm, the first farm you've seen for a while. Of course, the Midnight Curse's rain continues to fall. They've plans to build a shelter over it to stop the rain. Whether it's going to work or not, we shall see. And they really like Kiara. They called her Kiara the Life Bringer. Even wrote a song for her.
And then Orion also followed up with using the Redeemer's power to purify some of the well water so they can have fresh drinking water.
And they when you came in, they were begging Kiara to stay. But Kiara has other business, it seems. All right, well, I understand. Let us walk you to the gate at least. And they walk you to the gate. All the miners leave their abode. As they open the gate and as depart, you hear the song, Kiara the Life Bringer, just gradually fade into the distance as you once again enter the land of Iglarion. This campaign has been nothing but darkness upon darkness upon darkness. This was not dark. This is just a little glimmer of hope.
It's true.
So we're going to take a short break shortly, but you guys are heading across Clearwater Pond, I'm assuming, and heading through Wedgewood to the Dragon Bones. Is that correct?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So let's have a break for 5 minutes, and I'll see you guys shortly. the good news is Aglarion doesn't have time zones. So we don't need to worry about that. It has some other problems. I think I'd still prefer to live in our world than their world. But
At least we don't
Rains.
have death.
All right. So, with fond farewells, the Smokestone mine, just a little bright light, perhaps. As you move further east, heading to the Dragon Bones. Firstly, Kiara, roll me a d20, please.
Uh-oh. It almost spun onto the 20.
It's Josh,
No,
you're
no,
back
low's
to...
good.
I say low's good on this one, I think.
Yeah, this is, we're rolling for random encounters, and 15 or higher, some random encounter happens, and on a 20, 2 of them happens. And can everybody make me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, natural 20 is bad because then you got to roll 2 D100s for random encounters. So,
Kiara, hiding to the trees once again. Orion, good. Okay, good. So, as I think I said before, you're gonna be able to rest in the portable fortress, I believe, and get that exhaustion point back. So in other words, we're not going to roll again until you leave a significant area. So as we travel across the Wedgewoods, no need to make Constitution saving throws because you'll just get it back when you rest, and just rolling Constitution saving throws every few minutes is boring. But you approach the Clearwater Pond. So first of all, the shores of this pond are littered with savagely mangled carcasses of various animals. It's just lit with it. Deers, antelopes, wild boars, goats, even some smaller game like squirrels and rabbits. It's just mangled carcasses of various animals. The Clearwater Pond still has a purple sheen to it, but you throw a rock on it and you could wade through the pond if you wanted to. And then once it leaves the pond, these areas rise quite steeply. It's about 100 foot across at these areas and about a 50 foot down from a cliff. So it seems as if things have kind of leveled out here for some reason. So those are the options before you. Littered carcasses, a purple pond, but a pond you could wade across if you wanted to.
But how wide is the pond?
Oh, it's...
I mean, it's huge in the map, but...
I'll say, well, put it this way, it'll take you about an hour to walk across it.
To walk across... So it's not that deep, that it's really not that deep that you can really walk on the pond? So across the pond? Or?
You could wade through the pond, like it might get up to maybe knee deep.
Mm-hmm.
How far across is the pond?
I said about an hour or so, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, we can try, but definitely we should be careful. Nothing good happens in a pond this size under this rain. Okay, so do you agree? Should we cross the pond with our eyes wide open? I would take
maybe,
the okay.
maybe because everybody basically has some range, right? So maybe Incration goes first across. That way everybody can be on the lookout, and then we travel one at a time like that, so we can, if any random thing like what happened in the swamp with crocodiles or something pop up, then we can
I
ready?
was actually thinking the opposite, that we actually get ropes one to each other, so if something happens, we can drag the person back. So like maybe 10 feet or 15 feet between us and some ropes holding each of us.
How far across is the river?
8 miles. Oh no, it's 6 miles. I'm going to say 6 miles, and it would take you about an hour to get across it.
Okay. Yeah, I like Head-Eye's idea plus the shape water, like rope ourselves together and then Kiara with shape water to see under the surface.
Can you bring up the shape water spell for me, please, Kiara?
I mean, she can do like a couple of square meters, no, or something like that. Not really a lot.
And it's a cantrip.
Yeah, basically having me cast it over and over as we walk.
Okay, what are you aiming to do with the shape water?
The was it fourth one there? Change the water's color and opacity. Water must be changed the same way throughout. The change lasts for 1 hour.
Okay,
And I'm
got it.
basically gonna do this like as we were crossing the ponds, make the water clear so we can actually see what's under us as we walk.
Smart.
So to improve a little bit the visibility.
Okay. So you're doubling up though, right? You're roping and you're shaping water.
Yeah.
And I think it only makes sense for Kiara to lead the way because she's shaping the water in front of you
That
as you
makes
go.
sense.
And
Yes.
So you wade into the clear water pond. Maybe it's a bit deeper on Kiara being a no, maybe waist height, but it's perfectly easy to wade through. And as you wade through, as you're keeping a careful eye out, can you all please make me a perception check at advantage, with the shape water spell giving you an advantage.
One thing, if it's really hard for Kiara to walk, I or FG can probably carry on our shoulders if that will be required.
And who are we missing?
Sorry, forget
Hi.
that. I don't know why. Sorry, that one.
Oh, Kiara.
I see it all.
You do see all. You see
Sure.
what initially attracts
life.
you is an animal carcass. It's a deer, and you saw a lot of deer dead on the side of the clear water pond. But what would a deer doing right in the middle? And so you stop and maybe give a silent prayer to the Earth Mother for this creature. But then you noticed it's engulfed in some type of jelly type thing. And as you look with your 25%, you notice this jelly-like thing surrounding it. Like it's about a 10 feet by 10 feet by 10 feet kind of cube of stuff, kind of just jiggling around it. And you spot it. And it's about 50 feet away.
Let's divert over this direction. There's dangerous jello over there. Pointing out the danger to my companions as I start shifting the shape water to try to stay clear of it.
You notice the carcass start moving towards you, but it's moving very slowly. So it seems to be tracking you, but you can keep your distance ahead of it. It's slow moving, but it is tracking you. So what do you do? Head for the shore, or what do you do?
What do you guys think we should do? I think it's following us.
Yeah, if we outspeed it, I just say get to the other side.
Easy.
Orion, mind if I ride on your shoulders, Orion? I don't move very fast.
I get Kiara on my shoulders and move wherever she tells me to go.
You
Yeah, I only
eventually...
have a walking speed of 25 feet because I'm a
Ah.
small little gnome.
Okay. All right, so we push forward this gelatinous cube. I'm sure you all know what that is. Slowly tracks you to the edge of the clear water pond. But once you clear the pond itself, it retreats back into the waters. You do notice... Actually, all make me a Constitution saving throw at advantage, please.
Ooh, thank you, advantage.
Missing add-I. Just add-I. Con save at
Ah,
advantage.
sorry.
That's right.
I thought you meant with advantage. So I roll again. But if 21 or
21's
20.
good enough. So as you're splashing through the water, occasionally you stumble, and occasionally some of the water kind of splashes up in your face. Maybe particularly true for you, Adi, with Kiara, kind of holding her with your arms. It's hard to block the water, but you do block the water and avoid taking in any of the water for the clear water pond. As you get to the other side and the gelatinous cube retreats, notice there's a wild boar, similarly infected, rotting flesh. Initially sees you, then trots away, keeping its distance. But then it drinks from the clear water ponds, and its eyes turn bright red, and it lets out this little snarl and starts charging towards you. I'm not going to do a battle map for this or even track initiative necessarily, because you guys can take out a wild boar in your sleep. But it is charging towards you. Looks as if it's gone. Drinking from the pond has made it go maniacal, almost in a rage of sorts. And it starts charging towards you. What do you do?
I'm going to cast a fireball towards him, and while retreating with Kiara.
Oh, make me an attack. Yeah, that hits. And does 19 points of damage. Okay, so the firebolt explodes on the boar. And it's almost on fire now, but it's still charging towards you. It is... Okay, so now you've got a fire boar.
Guiding bolt it as well.
Sure, roll to hit.
Is Kiara looking away, or is she looking at this boar now that it's on fire?
I imagine she's probably looking ahead towards Orion, trying to keep the path clear with the water.
You're out of the water now. You're on the other side of the banks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's looking like she probably is having trouble looking at this creature. Now that it's on fire.
Perfect. Hell card. I did not want her to witness the creature going to hell.
Well, firstly, guiding bolt. Let's see if the guiding bolt hits. Oh, 16 does hit. 16 damage. That's a total of 35. It's still on fire and glowing now for you.
Unless that gives you advantage.
Yep.
Yeah, it does.
28.
Yeah.
Okay. 29.
Well, that finishes off the boar. Do all creatures go to hell, or is it creatures with a certain intelligence, or is that just for the 10 hit points?
6 or
It's intelligence, 6 or higher.
What happens on a 6 or higher?
I get aid, but other than that, all creatures killed by it go to hell.
All right. So the giant fire boar that's charging towards you finally gets twinkling. Creature, kill a creature. What is a creature? Yeah. Finally, with the guiding bolt finishing off, and then this card hits it. The ball falls to the ground and is still on fire. It's kind of weird describing a boar going to hell.
Do boars even go to hell?
This one does.
It falls into a barbecue pit and starts spinning as it goes down the hill over there as it's cooking on all sides.
Okay, we'll just say that you see the soul of the boar leave the boar, this pale blue kind of facsimile of the creature, and then a hand reaches up, a black hand, and just yanks its soul down. I don't know if Kara witnessed that or not, but that's what happens.
Barbecue.
Hey, Vander, feed while you can, real quick.
On that, what the hell?
Hey, he can't be picky. We're getting slim pickings.
Hey,
Vander is not here, so
Oh no, Vander. Yeah, no, that's Vander. Yeah, Vander. Sorry. Yeah, Vander does consume. Sorry, I got confused for a second between Vander and Adai.
By the way, I think I never seen Vander eating, and I know, I mean, because I missed the, but actually they took me out of the discussion originally when he revealed his nature. Does he eat like a normal creature, or is like a vampire? What is the thing about his eating?
Raw meat.
He
He needs raw meat. Okay.
Less raw the alive. The perfect meal for Vander would be an alive human.
Yeah.
It's a delectable treat. And then it just decreases from there, like a dead rat would not help him as much as a supply from a human. Alright! Seeing the animal suffering corruption never gets easier, indeed. Okay, so you put up the fortress thing, get a good rest in, and then you press on. Actually, there's one other thing. Burning almost. There's a trail. Like there's the forest here. Some of it's kind of scrubby forest as it approaches a mountain, but there's a very clear path leading from the Clearwater Pond to somewhere in the Shandor mountain ranges. It's like a path has been carved through it.
Well, I'm not sure if we should take that path. We got just enough time to hit these there dragon bones and then get down to the ziggurat.
Yeah, but is this like a road, something man-made?
Investigation check.
Give him a guidance.
Guidance.
Sure.
25 plus guidance. So it'll be 29.
You look closer at the path. It's definitely not man-made. It looks as if it was carved out with acid. Like you look at some of the burn marks of the tree and they've been as if they were dissolved in acid. So either something very acidic carved through this trail or someone purposefully burnt it away with acid. You're not sure which.
In the direction of the pond?
With a 29, it starts at the pond and heads into the mountain ranges.
Okay.
And definitely done with acid. You're not sure if it was man-made or
so like
creature.
Because I was thinking it's not like a square thing, so it's not like another cube that went in, no?
No, it's not a perfect path.
It's not a regular.
It's not a perfect
Okay, so
path.
maybe more like a dragon, for example, with like with the breath or something like that could make sense. Like a line of acid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So I think this might be a creature that made its own path towards the mountains, escaping maybe the pond. Maybe a dragon. risky business. I don't think we need to encounter a dragon now. What do you think?
You seek in there?
I didn't hear what you said, Kiara.
Is the item that you guys seek in there?
No,
no.
that's nowhere near the dragon bones. I say we just cut through the woods and let that path be.
I would agree. I think, I mean, if we will have time to investigate, I mean, a dragon is always really interesting to check. Especially, I have interest on that. But
perhaps we can follow up the pathway enough and see if anything, let's say, trips. And he kind of holds up the torque.
I think, well...
Oh, so just go up a hex here, and then...
Yeah, even if we have to kind of like do... I'm trying to show map it over there. If we kind of like go like all the way up here, and then... Or like, cut across like that, we can do that.
But we're only missing one torque, no? Because what gate had the other torque, no?
We're missing two, the adamantine and the clay.
Okay, but then make a...
Yeah, because if we go at least here, then we can catch this one.
Okay. So...
If there's something that will tingle.
Yes, you're going to go up here on your next day's travel.
Yeah.
Yep, okay. Well...
Wait, but Harem Blackbone had the other torque, no?
There's two torques.
There's two.
One is in the bronze. One of the then is
clay.
Hopefully where we go on the bones, but the other one was carried, as far as we knew, by Harem Blackbone, no?
Yes, which is also probably she was looking for the ziggurat, so we may end up finding her around the ziggurat.
She wanted information on the Dark Angels from the workshop.
No, it's all right. I have dyslexia, so probably because you say White Gate, no, not and somehow I confuse Blackbone with White Gate.
Sure. Well, the clues you have is this one here. You think that maybe one of the things is there. And maybe one is over here too. Sorry, over
here. Yeah, no, it's clear. Somehow I was confused because I thought that in the encounter of the Thorn of True was with the person who had the other torque, and I was surprised we didn't get the torque. But now it's clear.
You got information about possibly where Harren Blackbone went, who you suspect has a torque. Okay.
Yeah.
So traveling the next day, I'll just need a D15 from Adai. Haven't been here much, so you can bear the responsibility.
D20 or
D20, yep, D20. Ah, excellent. Roll me a D100.
Okay, that's 35.
5.
By the way, at the start of each day, I do cast this.
So
and that affects... just 20, and it's just for me, Adai, and Kiara.
Nice.
Krayshawn has Lady Luck to help him out.
He's right. Yep.
That's 25, you said?
20.
Sorry, that was my mistake.
20.
20, yeah.
20 to your max HP to Kiara, Adai, and myself.
Okay, so as you do get a ping firstly from your torque. Applying the torque could be, I guess, in one of these areas. Could be there, could be there, could be there, could be there, could be there. So somewhere around you. And right as you kind of approach the base of the Shandar Mountains, you notice there's 4 carts, all bearing the insignia of the Queen, like the insignia of the royal monarchy, and they stand in a circle, like almost in a defensive position in those old westerns that you see. and some cloaked figures, you can't quite make out what they are, stand within the encircled area.
So we take a look. Definitely, we go there. It's not gonna be nice welcome party. But at this time of the day, after everything I've seen, I have zero sympathy for any guard that still follow the queen.
Well, I agree, Adi. Let's just walk right up and see what's up with them, and if they serve the queen, let's get rid of them.
Okay. Well,
As you-
be all prepared.
Okay. So you'll
We approach
draw your
the-
weapons, go over spells in your mind. As you approach, you notice there's several dead bodies within the circle, and several of these dead bodies start climbing over the top of this caravan. Very obviously undead creatures of some sort, as they start lumbering their way towards you. There's 6 of them.
Okay.
Hit them with the blender, Orion.
Okay. Yeah. We get close to Orion and prepare for defending ourselves.
What's this blender you've got, Orion?
Spirit Guardians.
Yep, I was about to say at 4th level, I would cast Spirit Guardians.
Okay, so these zombies just lumber towards you mindlessly. They're all, I'd a guess, maybe dead for a week. They've started to rot. They're still wearing the armaments of the queen, and like a splint mail, and they lumber towards you with swords. And you just walk through them, and they just get split up. And that's, yep, they can't survive that. So these men have obviously died. They're all men, and became undead somehow.
We check whether there are any survivals.
No. There's maybe about 20 of them. They all looked. Actually, make a medicine check to see if you can work out where they died. Only some of them rose as undead, not all of them.
8.
Not sure.
What about Orion's medicine check?
Sure. Oh, sorry, I didn't see the 24 there. It seems they were attacked by some type of creature, like a bear or something like that, and you see tracks encircling it. Maybe some wolves found them as well. And basically, they tried to survive as best they could, but eventually they just tried a desperate attempt to flee, and they didn't. And they brought the bodies back to the camp after they drove away the wolves. They suffered great losses. And it seems as if the next thing that happened was some of the people who were killed rose up from the dead and killed the remaining survivors. So,
Lost cause.
Lost cause, yeah. Okay. So given...
So it did ping.
Yep. One of the hexes around you.
All right, and it did not ping while we were here at the Clearwater Pond, right?
Okay, so I guess you could eliminate these two. Yep, would have pinged.
I was about to say, so that one's eliminated, and that one's eliminated. So that means it has to be one of these 3 right here.
Yep.
I mean, it would make sense to kind of go here first. and then work our way back down. And honestly, if we maybe do this,
If we are noticing the torque nearby, I will definitely then go to the dragon, because a dragon is actually our connection to the torque, which is they're supposed to be the dragon bones. So there's too much of a coincidence. So
Yeah, agreed.
I will go back to the track of the dragon and follow it, knowing that we are probably facing. I mean, do I know which dragons use acid?
Black
Martin?
dragons do. Oh, yeah, I'll say you do.
Okay,
Black
so there's
dragons?
black dragons and copper or bronze. I don't remember which one of those. No?
I'm not sure. I know black for sure.
But black.
Yeah,
for
black
sure.
for sure.
I mean, being a pond, I will bet for a black dragon.
I think it's black and brass. I think. Well, copper.
Yeah. So if it's a brass, then we are good. But well, I mean, it's a corruptible brass, when we are still screw. But now we have been follow. I mean, if we follow the track, do we see any? I mean, we have a druid with us. Can you check, Kiara, whether there are any tracks to get an idea of the size of the likely dragon that we are facing?
Sure, if you make a nature check, maybe determine how big the creature was.
Guidance?
Sure.
I'm also gonna put up a spirit guide to help protect me. I think might help with this too. Sorry, I was just arranging my spells for the new day as well.
Sure.
I think I just rolled. And he said nature check?
Black and copper dragons breathe acid. Okay. So there is definitely this path carved through the countryside with acid. If you assume it's a creature, which is the working assumption, then the creature would be about 10 feet wide.
Okay, so a decent large dragon. Okay. Well, I suggest we go carefully. I mean, these creatures can be really keen, and see what we can find. Whether we can find the place where she or he is hidden. She may have the dragon may have the torque that we are searching for.
Okay. So you press forward, leaving the Wedgwood behind you as you approach the Shandar Mountains. Now the path was very obvious to follow through the forest, no survival check, but as it enters the mountain range, the acid trail kind of stops. You're still getting a ting from your torque, but you don't get a direction, you don't get a distance, you just know it's, within 20 miles of you. But the trail stops at the mountain's edge.
Okay. We check for cave or a group, so like maybe a water, another pond or something that could be a plausible layer for a large dragon.
Okay. In other words, you're going to start searching around the Shandar Mountains for a place where a dragon might hide.
Yes.
Like a lair. Okay. Everybody make me an investigation check. We'll treat this as a group check. So you compare notes as you scramble around the mountains.
Guidance on Adai.
Guide myself.
Thank you.
I get investigation.
Science.
I get advantage on this with my spirit guide.
Oh, cool.
I'm too preoccupied with giving guidance to Adai.
So in Adai was it? What was
26.
Adai? 26 in Kracian. Oh dear, 6.
6.
Orion. Yeah.
Natural 0.
Wow.
Yeah, that's. You well. You stumble around the mountainside for a good 12 hours looking for this entrance, and you don't find it. And you even start looking once night has fallen, even though the place is constantly gloomy, this whole land. But for some way past your bedtime, still don't find it.
Okay. So we have to put the tower and sleep, but I would suggest we take some vigil, so we kind of take turns to be awake in case we are being lured into a trap.
Sure. So you put up the fortress. Nothing approaches. We'll just say you set up random watches and you'll go through your watches, no problem. Nothing approaches you. Long rest successful, and yeah. Aid is cast. Kiara cast good berry and some delicious raspberries, which can act as food, and you know all about good berries, don't need to explain it, but good berries appear.
So, do we know whether we are closer or farther from the signal that we got before? In the sense that, because we are mostly in the other hex. My point being, whether we went to the opposite direction, basically, or not.
The torques tell you when the torque is within a 20-mile radius of you. That's not a strength of the signal.
Okay.
So. Yep, you don't know. You don't know how close it is, you just know it's within 20 miles.
So it's still within 20 miles?
Yeah, it's still within 20 miles, yep, right there, yep.
Okay, so we continue searching next day?
Perhaps I can be a little bit more of an assistance this time around.
Can you use your magic to find it?
Ooh.
I mean, in the morning you can prepare new things. So
feet. No, that won't work in that particular
locate
case.
creature.
I will do this, and we'll at least I will upcast this to 4th level. And let me go ahead and pop it in there. I will target myself, Adai, and Incration.
Hey. You can absolutely do this. You're searching the mountainside for something that is perhaps hidden.
That would be, I believe it's Fox Cunning.
I'm going to say, in the back of your mind, you remember the ziggurat of the new moon and whether you can waste time here. But if you want to search, it's going to take the best part of a day, but you're more than welcome to. So you still want to search?
We can speed up later if needed.
Okay. So,
should we hurry up to the ziggurat?
Well, we have enough time to go to the Dragon Bones, and then after the Dragon Bones, we have to go instantly to the Ziggurat to make it in time. We can't spend a day here.
Maybe we need to speed up later, but I mean, I will spend at least because this is the talk. This is really important, I think, to at least.
The issue is if we don't do this exact timeline that we have to wait a whole other 30 days for the Ziggurat of the New Moon to come back.
I know,
we can just come back to this area.
I would suggest then we find a way to really go fast.
And there are faster ways of traveling, but you're risking other side effects as well. But you can go faster. So there's that option as well.
Can we just come back here later?
Yeah, I think we come back later.
Yeah. You think you say we come back later?
Yeah, because this will always be here, and we know exactly like we are on a time crunch to get to the ziggurat.
Okay, so then Kiara also thinks we should go forward, no? Okay, then Orion, what do you think?
Personally, if we're here at the ready, it would be making a potentially waste of time of going all the way back up here.
So it's 2 against 2. I'm gonna try syncretion in this one, maybe. Orion. I think maybe I really keen into dragons, and maybe this is lowering my. This is probably affecting my judgment. Okay,
Perhaps maybe I could do one other thing. Let's see. Does this over there? Yeah, I'll ritually cast this.
Yeah, I can
If you
only
can
do
spell
it
10
5
minutes at least,
Mhm.
I'll cast this.
It's a single question. What specific goal, event, or activity is going to occur?
The finding of the torque.
If you do what?
If we go ahead and search. Because maybe it's one of these things where it has to be like available at a certain point in time.
So you reach out to the Redeemer. You see a cave, and you're wandering around trying to find the cave, and eventually the Redeemer appears beside you and holds your hand and shows you where the cave is. And the impression you get is the cave is very well hidden and you'll need help to find it.
Perhaps there's more information, maybe perhaps at these dragon bones, in order to find this location. We may waste too much time just searching on our own.
Okay.
Strike that one up for Lady Luck. Check.
Okay,
Yes, but
then
your Lady Luck was silent during that whole entire time, just FYI.
while your gods are fighting, my suggestion would be to actually any way to speed up in case we encounter something that will delay us later on. So I'm going to cast fly on FG, myself, and Orion, and I think we can carry Kiara and Incretion and Vandu.
I think I move faster than your fly with my dash. I move 70 feet.
Yeah, but we are going through a forest. I don't think we can. My point is, I will do it if we encounter any area, Malcolm, that is, because it seems to be like around a forest, and I could imagine sometimes you have these areas in which it takes 1 hour to go to something that you will fly, you will go
like thick brush. I got you.
Yeah. So we will use this strategy once or twice per day if we encounter such areas that it's better to fly than circumvent.
I like it. So yeah, like a kind of a swamp that we have to wade through the swamp, maybe just fly over the swamp and carry on.
Exactly.
Okay, so we'll say you save a number of days. I mean, it's going to take about 3 weeks. Let's look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. About 2 weeks. Everything going well to get to the ziggurat. Okay, so.
Yeah, and you guys don't have to carry me. I can just wild shape into.
True. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So they're with much haste, with wild shapes and bouncing over ponds and stuff. You start. I assume you're heading to the Dragon Bones.
Yes.
And if that's the case, who can I pick on? Orion, roll me a d20. Oh, roll me a d100. 9. Everybody, please make me a dexterity saving throw.
Are we flying during this?
Flying won't matter. I'll explain why in a second.
Oh,
Maybe
it was
doesn't.
on 18 and it hit the side of the screen and then tipped over.
New side of the screen. Okay, on a 1 to 5, it happens while you're flying. Oh, it doesn't. As you're hitting as quickly as you can towards the dragon bone, every so often you can't help but look up at the sky, this roiling clouds, thunder and lightning, all sorts of things. And then something really, really weird happens. Almost the air suddenly grows still. There's constant breeze with the storm that grows still. And the rain stops for just a second. And you think, man, this is a relief somehow. But then it starts raining again. Doesn't rain though. It rains snakes. And as these snakes fall upon you, in Cration, you dodge the worst of it, but the rest of you just get pummeled with snakes. And you all take 38 damage. You take 7 points of damage as these snakes just bludgeon you from above.
Okay, I could not believe I would say that, but oh no, not again.
Again?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not the first time we ran into the rain like that.
Snakes slither away. That rains again.
At least they're only snakes and not the cursed rain.
Yeah. So I use how to say no Misty Step, Thunder Step to kind of wash them away of my body after they beating me up.
Right, so a big stomp and a stand up port and a lightning as you thunder step away. Actually, you come across via the directions of Cygnus. I'll show you what you see. We'll just do it this way. Adai, Kiara, Ryan, and Cration. So, this is what you see.
Ooh, Jack.
So, is this kind of like an archaeological dig, or is that just the bones are actually out there?
It doesn't appear to be a dig. They're just out there.
Okay.
It's not an archaeological site.
Okay. I'm gonna check around, trying not to perturb the bones, and I mean I see like a fire and so, and a tent, so trying to see whether there is anyone or anything that because we expect someone to be taking the watch. I'm gonna check. It was not Elden, but someone who follow up. I think I have in my notes. Barrow took the watch apparently. I actually gonna shout just in case. Shelvaro, are you still here?
There we go. Creature or person emerges from the tent. And he says, "Whoops." And you see a man who looks like this.
No eyes, or seems blind in the picture?
He is blind. He's got a staff that he kind of uses to get around.
Mm.
And he stops from this other side of the dragon to where you are. You feel free to approach if you want. He says, "Oh, hello. Have you come to pay your respects?"
We came indeed. This will be Selvaro, who took the watch after Lord Arden move away or pass away. Friend of the Bronze Dragon Telarmas.
Yeah, well, this is Telemas here. Yes, but we have pilgrims here every now and then. And the way he's talking to you, doesn't look you into the eyes. He just looks slightly to the side, and he's very obviously blind. And he says, "Well, all visitors are welcome here. My task to tend to the bones, make sure no one desecrates the site. You are most welcome to pay your respects. Let me know if I could be of any more assistance."
Indeed, you made. Beyond observing the great dragon, we are ourselves on a quest. Your Lord, Lord Arner, had with him an ancient torque, which belongs to the magic tower. We know that, of course, he was always with his family as an important heritage item, but in these trying times, it could definitely help the kingdom if we will find it and bring it back to the tower. Do you know about this torque? It should look like one of those, and I saw him. I point to us, and then I realize how stupid it is when I'm pointing to something and he's blind. and then we're gonna start to apologize, and then realize it also makes no sense. So yeah, it's a piece of metal that should be carried. That maybe was carried by Lord Arden.
Are you familiar with the tale of Thalamaris? Perhaps this will shed some light on your questions. Or do you wish me to recount the history, which you should have learnt in school, I am sure?
I should. I will tell whatever I heard about that.
Please, miss. Please do not touch the dragon without my permission. I can tell you what happened to this dragon. Thank you, miss. Dalamaris was a great dragon. It's okay. I do not look down upon inquisitiveness, but it must be balanced with respect. Dalamaris and Lord Arland were great friends. But of course, humans die so much quicker than dragons. And eventually, Lord Arland passed away, and he gave his torque to Thalmaris for safekeeping as a gift from one friend to the other. Thalmaris was attacked in his own lair, if you can believe that, by some poisonous wickedness mounds of ooze. And at first, it blinded the dragon, and the dragon fled from its own lair. But it seems whatever these creatures did, it rotted him from the inside and out. And this is where he lay and he died. This rotting acidic substance burning him from the inside until he passed away. And I, but traveling, I have some affinities for dragons, and while I understand your curiosity, young gnome, dragon bones can be quite valuable. So I stay here, maintain the skeleton as best I could, keep away those who would do ill, and ensure that the body of Thelmaris is respected. So
We
your
have a
Lord Arlen
suspicion.
is dead. Thelmaris has it. If anywhere it would be is his hoard. Now I do not know if you are simple treasure hunters or not, so I will not be revealing the hoard to you. Feel pay to
But
pay your respects. He looks away.
perhaps I could be of assistance.
Turns and he turns and doesn't look at you.
Your
My-
eyes. How long have you been blind?
Oh, years now.
Perhaps if you could see with your own eyes that we mean no harm, but we have an important objective that needs to be achieved. Perhaps if you allow me, perhaps I can give you at least a temporary glimpse of who we are, so you can see with your own eyes. This is not some ploy to raid any particular horde, so to speak, but for the betterment for the land, in respect of what was once a great partnership between man and dragon. I speak knowing of one partnership that was very beneficial to the land at one point in time when it was plagued in darkness.
Claiming you'll give me eyes that could see?
I don't know if it would be permanent, but it may help at least temporarily. And I will cast Last Restoration.
He blinks for a couple of times and says, "Whoa, that is amazing. Oh, if you only had been here decades before, I could have... I do not begrudge my time I spent in the darkness. That is fine. But I thank you, nevertheless."
My lord, my name's Adei Karamosa. Karamosa. We are not treasure hunters in any way. We are tasked with the mission of returning life and prosperity to this realm. A mission that we take really seriously. We have reason to believe, as I said, that the Torque was here, but with your story, I suspect otherwise. You know, you mentioned these owls, and we saw one recently in a pond nearby. We think there is also a dragon, a black dragon, which also plays with acid. Will it be possible that the great dragon that here lies had an enemy among its kind?
It is not a black dragon. It is an ooze of sort. Much bigger
I
than
see.
any of the oozes you've seen. It's just
I see.
massive, and it guards the entrance of the tomb,
Yeah.
of the lair.
Yeah, and I point in our map towards the direction, and now that he can see where we think it might be.
Sure. Can you just make me a persuasion check at advantage, Hedai?
Oh no! I don't know why I always talk.
No, it's good. I just say at advantage.
The advantage, okay, I roll
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Not that probably will matter, but well, an 8 it could be worse. At least, I mean, it's not a 1.
Sorry, this is where your quest ends. You will not locate
Okay.
the torque, and this is the end of the campaign. All right, guys, what do you want to do next? You've screwed it up. Can't find the torque.
Okay, we
That's it.
play.
Perhaps I can at least provide assistance in this case, though I shouldn't be running persuasion either. Like you said, I am inspired by the unions of man and dragon. If anything, it would be in respect to that relationship and the conditions that this land finds itself in. Perhaps if I reveal who I am, it would be enough of an opportunity to allow us maybe a better location of where this horde is, so we can reclaim that torque, which was a treasure of friendship between dragon and man.
Do not know what on earth you're talking about. I know, says Malcolm, but Silvaro doesn't.
Yeah. And with that, he'll kind of bow. Redeemer. Reveal.
That is interesting. Well, if we're in the revealing business, let me reveal my true self.
Oh, crap!
Oh.
Do not panic. I am with you. My name is indeed Silvaro, and I am the son of Thelmaris. And I want nothing more than to get revenge on those ooze creatures. So do not fear me. Let us walk together. I warn you, though. These creatures are very dangerous. They're single-minded. This is when I try to reclaim the lair for my father. That is at that point I lost my sight. But come, let us travel together to the shrine of the blind god, as it is now known.
Can you fly us there? You know, our problem is we are heading south to get another item in this quest with really time constraints.
Luckily, he's I think he's he is a young dragon. Time is of the essence. I've waited a long time for my revenge. So be it. And you'll mount onto the dragon's back, and he flies you over to the shrine of the blind god. And he leads you to a waterfall underneath on the mountain ranges. And like all secret lairs, it's actually behind the waterfall. And you enter in behind the waterfall. And he says, follow me this way. Keep an eye out. And I think that would be a good point to finish it for this week. As we'll have probably Vander back next week, not Adai. As you'll investigate the shrine of the blind god. It says it was once a dragon lair, but it's not a dragon lair anymore. But that'll be a good point to end, I think.
Yes. Michael, one quick question, because I was not at the beginning of the game, and I forgot to say at the end of the last game. These creatures that we killed, the insect creatures, I don't know, some of them were casting spells, and I don't remember if we checked them in case they have anything of interest, most notably for me, magic, so spell books.
Mechanically, they were druids, and they were casting
Okay.
hold person, so no spell books.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, thanks.
Okay. Okay.
See you. Bye.
Take care, everyone. We'll see you next week.